Jackie Chan has a huge movie list. No matter the era, there was that movie you remembered. Police Story in the 80s, Rush Hour in the 90s, Shanghai Noon into 2000s. My favorite movie of his is Shanghai Noon. I love martial arts since the first time I saw it on shows like Power Rangers. Out of all the famous people, I gravitated to Jackie Chan because he would always do his stunts and have that comedic flair. You talk about Jackie Chan, you think Drunken Master, you think Chris Tucker. But my first time watching Jackie Chan was in Mr. Nice Guy. It's a movie that doesn't really get brought up. The film has had an interesting history when it came out in the US. It's an average Jackie Chan movie. The story is not the best thing Chan's done. I wish they had expanded on the roles a little bit more, but the comedy and action scenes are on point. I've never seen action like that before. It left an impression on me. Anyone who's seen the movie remembers that ending sequence. I did lose some respect when I found out that the film crew didn't clean up the mess they did when they shot the ending. It got them banned filming in that area of Australia. Another reason why it stuck in my head, it's the first movie I was really critical to. Something just felt off with it. Let me talk about the movie before I get ahead of myself. Mr. Nice Guy is all about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. The movie follows Jackie, a small-time cooking show host who uses his charm and martial arts talent to make cooking fun and engaging. Kind of like Chef Martin Yan, if you remember his show Yan Can Cook. Jackie crosses with a news reporter, Diana, played by Gabrielle Fitzpatrick. Power Ranger fans know her as Dulcia, who was doing a drug expose between the two largest gangs in Australia, the Demons and the Italian mob, led by Giancarlo, who's the main villain of the movie. While the two gangs killed each other over the drugs and money, Diana's team got caught, so now they're screwed and gotta running right into Jackie, who now has to fight guys with guns. He has his apartment ransacked and blown up, endangered his family and co-workers. He gets mixed into this insanity, which also pulls in his girlfriend. What makes this a bit different than Chan's usual movies, it's the contrast between the gritty violence and the comedy. Take Rush Hour. It's two cops stopping bad guys, a kidnapping, you got action and violence, but it all runs within Tucker and Chan arguing and being dumb. Mr. Nice Guy, when stuff gets serious, they don't pull their punches. Even for a PG-13 film, the bad guys do some pretty bad stuff, which is where the US release had problems with. The story is very light, more than usual. Jackie's background, all we really get to know is that he was adopted by an Italian family at some point, which is why he became a chef. We have a few other characters: Romeo, Jackie's adopted brother, who's a cop, his adopted father, and his chef show manager, Lakeisha. The story's not bad. You do get to know the characters to a point. Jackie's father and brother are very protective of him. Maybe Jackie was adopted out of a bad situation. His girlfriend Mickey is from China. He probably was adopted during his teen years. They don't even want him to become a cop. Lakeisha is also close to Jackie's family. Everyone has that glue of sticking together, even through things like this. Lakeisha helps out here and there. Diana, the news reporter, she has her moments in the film, doesn't chicken out with guns, knows how to get out of deadly situations. That's why she gets the stories. Mickey had it the worst, two ways. Imagine going on vacation to America, you don't know English that well, you haven't seen your boyfriend for who knows how long, and then get kidnapped by the mob over some stupid tape of a crime that Jackie doesn't even know where the hell it is. I'd probably never come back to America after that. As for the bad guys, they're pretty crazy. This is a problem for the US release. When Nice Guy came over here, New Lines re-edited the film. They said the movie was slow, so they tightened up the pacing. I could understand that if it's a 2-hour movie, it's a little long, focus more on the action scenes. Except that's not the case here. The original edit was just barely over an hour and a half. The movie was already lean as it was. It actually needed more for the character development. Then the US version cuts out 13 minutes, making the already fast-paced film and light story worse. Going from scene to scene was already fast enough. The edited down version ruined several things, especially the villains. They ruined Mickey. If you only watch the New Line version, she's barely in the film. There's no moment where Jackie and her can just talk because they cut out about 4 minutes from one scene between them and about 30 seconds from another describing her character. The dumbest edits were of fight scenes. It's already bad enough that character building was chopped up, but we're talking Chan fights and money shots during the ending sequence were cut. These edits weren't for pacing. These edits were for having the movie play more in a day. This badly hurt background on the gangs, The demons are a really crazy group. They don't really care who they go after or kill, but they had some motivations on why they were acting like this. The first fight scene with the two gangs, it was shortened by 3 minutes. Giancarlo killed some of them in cold blood, so the demons didn't care how hard they go after his gang. So in the edited version, they just look like mindless idiots throwing grenades. Now, Giancarlo's gang also lost some of its impact. They were pretty gruesome. They backstabbed all the gangs. If you were caught as a spy or working for the cops, he buried you alive. His men beat the crap out of anyone, man or woman. A lot of this was removed, so Jackie and Diana's motivation / hatred towards Giancarlo was half lost. You really want this guy gone in jail hard. Another thing with the edit, it required the movie to be rescored. The new score isn't horrible, but it's not great. The composer was obviously rushed. The movie's filled with stock music that I've heard in other shows. I heard it in Mythbusters and 2 Power Ranger seasons. The new score does undermine moments. Serious moments are underscored with funny cues that breaks the action scenes. I will say the composer did good during the ending sequence, but the early parts of the film are not that great. I knew even when I was younger that editing was going on. Some of the edits were very obvious. Diana would be in one place, then in the next shot across the room. They cut out her being hit. Nothing was inappropriate for a PG-13 film. The movie could have played as is from the original edit. It just didn't happen. Luckily, a few years ago, Warner released a Blu-ray of the original cut and the New Line version together. I much prefer the original version. You get more of the story out of it. You understand why some of the demon characters don't want civilians killed. Giancarlo is a lot more ruthless. You understand why Jackie is this pissed off at him. And seeing the fights at full length was nice. It's way easier to follow in the original version. If I was grading the two versions, I'd give the original a 7 out of 10, while the edited version a 5. If you've never seen a Jackie Chan movie and you like to see balance of Chan's more serious films and comedy films, I'd recommend Police Story, Drunken Master 2, Mr. Nice Guy, Armor of God, Rush Hour, and Shanghai Noon. Thanks for checking out the review. Subscribe if you want to see more, and if you remember a movie or a show that's long been forgotten, good or bad, leave it as a suggestion below. I'm always on the lookout for obscured stuff.